Righto, episode 13. First virtual podcast all the way from on the other side of the country, Perth, Western Australia. 17-year-old Griffin North. How you going, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's going to be good.
Nah, brother. All day. So, yeah, only 17, doing real estate videography. You're starting to get a little bit of traction. You can see there. Definitely starting to get a lot more clients in the real estate world. And not only that, but just like getting noticed in the real estate videography scene.
Yeah.
You know, Danny Bertolo. Is that how you pronounce it? Bertolo?
I think Bertolo. Yeah.
Yeah, did a recent trip and caught up with you and did a little vlog with you. And just because we've done, bro, and what has it been, 8 months, you would say, since you started?
Yeah, Feb I started. So it's been about eight, nearly 9 months. Yeah.
Fair play. So pretty much how did that journey start? How did you get into real estate videography at such a young age?
Yeah, so as obviously you said, I'm 17 and this year everyone's graduating right now. So everyone that I was at school with, they're just graduating. So I'd be in year 12. And I actually dropped out last year in year 11. And it's kind of it's a long story, but I'll give you the brief version, which is I was always like good in school, academic, whatever. And then my priority started to shift last year and I wanted to start making money for myself. And you know, I tried a few different online business models, but nothing ever really worked. And after a sequence of events, I ended up dropping out of school. And I worked with my dad for a little bit, but it just felt like I wasn't doing much and I had big aspirations. And now I was this high school dropout now. And everyone from my school was just like, what is this kid doing? And I was 16, turning 17 and, you know, I wasn't in school. I wasn't really doing much. So I ended up I thought about it for a bit and I was like, well, what can I do without like a high school degree really or anything? And I thought about becoming a real estate agent when I turned 18. So I had like a couple of real estate family friends, I guess, and I was going to shadow a couple and just try and learn the ropes of real estate. But I guess one of the first things I wanted to do at the start of this year is go, all right, let me learn like photo, video, real estate, like media. And I'll try and start like getting into the world and maybe, you know, pick up some real estate clients and build connections. And that was the thought process at the start of the year. And then I kind of started to get into it and I just realized I actually really liked videography. And you know, you could actually do some really cool things with the property video. So I got into Danny, as you mentioned, I got into his content and he was doing all these crazy property videos. And yeah, I saw he had a course and I wasn't a videographer before. I'm not a creative person. I didn't think I was. And then got into his course, made the investment and obviously I got some help from the parents with that. And then, yeah, I basically just went through the course and that was my first ever time doing anything videography. And yeah, here we are now. I got to the course and just applied it in Perth and over the past 8 months, I've just built that real estate video business and, you know, I kind of just stumbled into it. Like it wasn't on purpose. I didn't know I wanted to be a real estate videographer, but now I'm still not, you know, at the age to do my agent license or anything. And I don't think I plan to now after building this. So yeah.
I don't know that, bro. Like obviously we've met through the course. That's how we came across each other. And I don't even know that. I thought you just create a person your whole life, but turns out you want to be an agent.
Yeah,
that's crazy, right, bro.
Yeah.
What did your parents think when you dropped out of school?
Well, initially I had a couple copywriting clients. So I was kind of trying to be like a copywriter at the time. I guess that was one of the business models, whatever. But I wasn't making much. I might have been making like $1,000 a month of a couple clients. And that was only for like 1 month. And then I dropped out and I convinced my mum initially. She was like, well, if you never go to school, you rock up late, maybe you should just drop out. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So it was like on the Friday, I had like stayed home from school working until like 2 p.m. And then I'd gone to school for like the last period. And then that Saturday, my mum's like, you never go to school anyway. So why don't you just drop out? And literally the Monday was my last day. So it was like a super quick decision. And then my dad was like, what's going on? Why has he just dropped out? And then, because he did sign me off, but he was like, this is a stupid decision. So then I ended up working for him for a bit as like his PA, but it wasn't a good scenario and I won't get into that, but my mum especially for about a year, that entire of last year, she was like, I was basically just floundering. Like it just felt like I was floundering, you know. She was always quite supportive of me in the academic sense. You know, she liked that I was a good student and everything, and something she could brag about. And then all of a sudden, that's gone, and I'm a high school dropout. So they weren't happy, or she wasn't happy at least. But at the start of this year, we started this business, and now And now I guess with the revenue amounts, the results are starting to make it less doubtful of me being a dropkick. So yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know we've been talking, last time we talked was probably a month or two ago, but I know you're trying to get that 5 figures consistently. How you going on track with that now?
Yeah, we've had a good couple months. This going into spring real estate season has picked up a lot. So, I mean, revenue wise, we might hit 20 this month, possibly. It's probably going to be close, but it'll be up 18, 19, I think. So it's been good. And then I guess the goal was do 120K month revenue this year. Might hit that next month. It's probably the busiest month of the year. So yeah, it's been hectic, but definitely got the consistent 5 figure, which is the first kind of goal. And then from there, it's getting consistent 20Ks. I think is the next goal, or just hitting it and then getting it consistent, of course. Yeah,
it's crazy, bro. Because like when I look back at when I was 17, like I was only really just getting into drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And going through that Peter Pan stage of my life, and here you are, almost doing 20K months at the same age, and like my mindset was never like, probably didn't even know what entrepreneurship was really, or didn't understand anything about business. You're doing this, so I guess did you have something when you were younger that maybe even your parents or family members seen in you, or this is just all more recent times you've had a massive shift in your life where you've realized maybe life isn't all what everyone makes it out to be?
Yep, I'd say that was last year, because I've always been someone who's like tried to excel in what they do. I've always tried to be good, as in I was good at school, and that's always been kind of a personality trait for me. I would say I never really fit into like the social world, and that kind of always, in year 11 I was in the library lunch and recess, so I was all about studying, and then kind of getting into the rabbit hole of self-improvement online and getting into the rabbit hole of entrepreneurship. I just realized that, I wanted to be spending my time doing something that's going to make me money, like, quite frankly. So, I started to get into that, and yeah, I guess I just, that was what my goal was, and whatever vehicle it was, it didn't really matter too much to me at the time. And that's why I ended up in real estate video, which is the most random business model ever, and ended up doing it because at the time I thought it was an opportunity, and I didn't really have anything else going for me. So I just decided, let's just go all in on this. But yeah, I guess mindset wise, it's always been about trying to be excellent. And that's what I say with real estate video. It's like, people now ask me, oh, do you want to be like, have you always wanted to be a good videographer? And it's like, no, but I've always wanted to be good at what I do. So if I'm going to be doing videography, I'm going to try and become a good videographer. And whether that's becoming a better videographer and being a solo operator, or building a business and scaling, it's, that's kind of the period I'm in right now. I'm still a solo operator, so I'm deciding whether or not to scale the business side or really go hard on the creative side and become really world-class on that side. And I think I can do both at the same time. But yeah, I think I've always had definitely a drive to be good at what I do. So that's just become growing this business over time.
I guess that's one thing at the moment, like where I'm at with my videography business, like, do I make it more business dominant or creative dominant? And I think realistically, from a person who is running maybe a business is doing 7 or 8 figures a year, they want something that's just going to get customers through the door. And at the end of the day, sometimes the creative shit isn't what's going to get that across the line. Like, it looks cool and all, but it's not.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not.
100%. Yeah, I agree. I've tried to, my dad keeps telling me, don't become too good a videographer. Don't become a too good videographer, because then you'll never build a team. You'll never want to delegate anything. You never want to outsource any tasks. Like, don't become too good. Don't become like the best videographer in the world. And I'm very far off that, but that's definitely something you have to weigh up. Pushing the business side or pushing the creative.
I guess because you've like had the success so quickly and early in your life at 17, like even 5 years from now for you is my age at 22. Well, that's mental, man. And what you can, with the mindset and the discipline you have, what you can achieve in those 5 years, like, do you think you'll actually still be in videography, or you actually might be in maybe another market, or maybe still videography, but a different market or completely different, I guess you could say, business.
Yeah, I don't want to. I guess something I think about, because I don't want to discredit the real estate media business, but especially in a market like, I mean, Perth is not a bad market, but it's, you know, I'm looking how can I get past 50K a month here as doing property videos. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't see that being all that possible. And you know, I got to get there first. But thinking long term, I would say I'm probably gonna pivot either deeper into videography, serving different types of clients, or deeper into real estate, providing different type of service. There's kind of a few avenues to go off from here, I think. I definitely, you know, I do have a passion. I think I've built a passion for videography over time, but I think I will come back to the passion of growing a business. And I think that'll be my number one desire. So where that will lead me, I'm not sure if it's going to be in videography, or if it's going to be in real estate, or it could be in something completely different. But I think it's a good foundation. I think I have the foundational skill set now to bring an income, at least for myself. And hopefully within the next 5 years, we can get into a more high leverage opportunity. Because, you know, I've definitely realized this spring that, you know, doing 15-hour days shooting property videos it's not what I want to do forever. So it's good money, at least in my position. But, you know, at some point, I'm sure I'll try and pivot, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a question like that. Like, because I know at times you don't want to, like, I know you and I have spoken about this, you don't want to look too far into the future. You don't want to get too carried away. But I can imagine that with your mindset as it is now, you're going to want to be eventually a millionaire one day. You want to cross that 7-figure mark.
Yeah.
And I guess you can definitely scale a real estate videography business, but I don't know, like there's definitely other ways to do it that are more of a simpler method.
Yeah.
When it comes to scaling.
Yep.
And I guess that's something I'm on the line too. Like videography is doing well for me. I'm just going to keep doing it, but I've already got other ideas in my mind, which I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, 100%. I think scaling video, especially property videos, because it's such a niche skill set, and the turnarounds are so quick, and there's a ton of reasons which make it quite hard to scale. I think, not that I've got there yet, but even if it's going deeper into real estate and becoming, you know, like 7Zills, they've kind of transitioned from, I mean, they still have their content wing of the business, but they also have the advertising wing. And it's just a higher leverage service that you can just charge more for, and it's less input from one service, from one service fulfillment person. It's like in videography, it's very much, it's going to take this many hours no matter what. It's going to take, like, you can't get it down to taking 30 minutes, or, you know, you can outsource it, but it's just difficult, especially if you're being paid for quality as well. Like, I feel like in my market, there are a few companies which are doing the big volume stuff, but people are choosing me for quality, and they're choosing me for turnaround, and it's going to be difficult to get someone that's $20 an hour that can do the same quality and turnaround, possibly, but it can only go so far, I think. So I haven't explored it too much, but I'm definitely sure there's something high leverage that's going to get me to the 7-figure level.
And it comes back to like being as efficient as possible, which I know Danny talks about a lot in the course. And I remember when I first joined and he was talking about doing property videos in 2 hours.
Yeah.
That idea, it's just like, nah, bro. And I did it today, and it's just like, I remember when I first started doing real estate videos, I was spending, there was one video I know it took me 10 hours.
Yeah.
Compared to 2 hours, and the quality is probably 3x.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And I guess talking more into efficiency, what have you implemented into your business model or strategy to be able to become more efficient and have those quick turnover times?
Yeah, 100%. So Danny's been fundamental for this, I guess, as you know, because his entire philosophy around the shooting and editing process is really waste removed. And on site, I'm a lot quicker now, just because I'm more confident in my shots. So that's something which isn't as much something I've implemented, but something I've learned over time. So instead of taking 3.5 hours, I might take an hour and a half on site, and I've shot properties in 50 minutes. Editing wise, I've always been pretty good at the 2 hour mark. And the other thing I've kind of mentally shifted is getting too stressed over the fine details. So if there's one speed ramp, which this is too property video specific, but if there's one speed ramp which is I haven't shot properly, and I know I can make it smooth, but it's going to take me about 40 minutes to make it perfectly smooth, screwing with the stabilization, the easels, and there's all these little creative things that you can do, and then I just think about putting myself in the shoes of the agent, and they're just not going to realize. They're just not going to notice the tiny change. And because you want to provide a quality video, but at the same time, it's very much a volume business where you're doing a video a day, 2 videos a day. You just have to get them out. You just have to keep moving along the timeline. And these are all like creative efficiency things. I wouldn't say there's anything business like as a whole that's made my business more efficient. There's online bookings and things like that which have reduced my time, the amount of time I need to be doing admin stuff, but I'm still not perfect with those things. So just getting the creative process down to under 2 hours shoot, 2 hour edit means that it's still it's not always that quick, but it's probably still $100 to $150 an hour to $200 an hour service that you can make, and that's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, bro, that's, again, for your age, unbelievable. And like many people wouldn't even be able to achieve that in their life.
Yeah. It's just keeping it to that time, because sometimes it becomes a $25 an hour thing if you fuck around with too many things. So, yeah.
Which is the other thing too. Like, I feel like when it comes to that, you're doing $200 an hour, but you want to do more still. And you get caught up in that, I guess, not appreciating how far you've come, and you get caught in this mindset of, more. Are there ways you're dealing with that, not to get too far ahead of yourself too quick?
At the moment, I'm pretty. It's tough because at the moment I'm kind of swamped, to be honest, with work. That it's I haven't properly thought too far ahead for the past 2 weeks. I've been so swamped with actual just work on my end, but I don't know. I don't think it's a. I guess you've got to appreciate how far you've come, but I don't think there's an issue with reaching for more. I mean, I don't think you think there's an issue with that either. It's hard. It kind of stresses you out though. It kind of stresses me out at least. Think about how am I going to max out property videos even further than this? Because if I'm thinking, okay, I want to become a millionaire in my early 20s, how am I going to do that with property videos? It kind of stresses you out because you need a different opportunity. And then you're doing a property video, screwing around with a speed ramp, and you're like, this is not going to make me a millionaire. Like you get into those kind of negative thought patterns, which are not good for your mental health day to day doing property videos. But it's hard to not think about how I'm going to get to the next level. If you're spending that much time just providing a service and not working on the business, you start to doubt it really, because you've just become a glorified freelancer basically. And yeah, it's tough, but I think trusting the process, I think trusting that building this brand is going to help me a lot, and making cool videos is going to help me build that brand. And off the back of this brand, like Danny, for example, he's made however much he's made, but a lot more than he did doing property videos, but it's off the back of his success with Future Avenue. So I'm trusting that the success of this business will lead to more opportunities. And if that means I have to spend some time doing some speed ramps in the early days, then that's okay. And I'm trying to be cognizant of that. So yeah, it's hard though. It's hard. It's very hard.
One thing I've been trying to do is just zoom out, and because I've just completed my first financial year as an entrepreneur and doing tax time. I'm not sure about yourself, but like I've pretty much done everything myself because one, there's no need for me to fork out the fees. Yeah. I could, but I'd rather just learn how to do my own tax and my own bookkeeping. And I feel like doing that for the first time and understanding tax and deductions and many ways you can pretty much almost get not completely out of tax, but how much you can shrink that margin and how much you have left over. You're like, oh shit, because all year I just tell myself 50% because it's safe. Yeah. Like 50% goes to tax, man. Yeah. And because I've done that too, I've got to tax time. I'm just like, there's all this extra money there now. And I'm like jumping for joy. Yeah, massive. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like, because I do that a lot, I keep thinking like, oh, I need to be a millionaire. But I've got to realize like, man, I've got 10 years at least in this game before I can just until I can just tell myself I deserve to be a millionaire yet. You know, I just got to keep telling myself 10 years. Got to be in this game.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe an opportunity comes along the way to pivot.
Yeah, I think so. So I've done the opposite. I need to get on top of my financials. To be honest with you, I think I spend a bit too much. But yeah, that's the other thing. I spend too much. Then I'm like, I'm going to be a millionaire in 5 years. It won't matter. So it's
what are you spending on? Just like investing back in the business, or
that? Yeah, but then it's also just little things that add up. Just like I'm on the road, I'm grabbing food every day. It's like, you know,
fair.
It's just things like that add up. It's not even like clothes. It's not even stupid stuff. It's just like coffee, and it's $50-$70 a day on just nonsense at servos. And it's not like it's super unhealthy food, but I'm grabbing waters, so that adds up. Then also equipment adds up. And living at home with not very many expenses and making all this money, it's like you end up just spending it, don't you? So you try not to. I try not to. I still save a decent amount, but I should be taking advantage of the fact that I've got minimal expenses and making a lot. So
yeah, which is crazy because, you know, someone like myself, I know doing carpentry apprenticeship, how many expenses are involved in order to make a profit. And with us, it's more like a one-time investment into like cameras and that. Obviously, you have insurance and all these other little things that are behind the scenes, but it is more so buy a camera and then, you know, PC or Mac, whatever you're running on, and just virtually, that's it.
Just profit, isn't it? Yeah.
It's almost, all you're just really spending on is your time, or the only expense is your time.
Or music.
That's virtually it.
Or music bed, because it's $155 a month. Which I
Bro, scratch that shit.
Yeah.
List all day, brother. Music beds.
I've signed up for a year-long subscription, so that's $1,000 and whatever. $1,500 on music bed.
I reckon it's quality, but I reckon Atlas, bro. I reckon music bed's just one of those products where they just increase the margins to make it seem like it's extremely valuable.
It's not been.
It's just,
it hasn't been better. I think everyone's got an affiliate link or something, because there's no way that this many people are raving about it. It's not that good. It's not that good.
Facts. The other thing I want to ask you too, because you're like the first guest, I guess. I've had Atlas, who's 20 himself. We didn't go down this path though, because I know him personally, and he didn't get into the entrepreneurial game, you could say, through social media influences. For him, it was more so just his past and what he's been through.
Yep.
But would you say in your position with, you know, you could call it the Andrew Tate era and all that, very probably cringy shit to say, but there was that era there where there was, you know, all these influencers out there like Andrew Tate, like your Ty Lopez, all those lads, you know, telling you that you can create the life you want. Did that play a role in your position?
That's 100% what happened, really. For me, it's I don't want to like name too many names, but for me, it's always been Iman. It's always been Iman Ghazi as the number one. Like it was Andrew Tate, and then it was always Iman. And even today, even though I know he's, you know, people call him a grifter or whatever, he's got his courses. You know, successful guys. He's made millions of dollars, but it's always, all right, what was Iman doing at 17? What was Iman doing? Because there's like that journey of him documented, of him dropping out of school at 17, 18. So definitely him, definitely Tate, definitely a lot of those guys. It was for me, it was like late 2022, early 2023, probably late 2022. I think that's probably Tate's prime. And that was the biggest period for me, where it was like, got to start an online business, got to start a business of some sort, got to make money. And yeah, my dad has business of his own, an IT business. So there was that in the, you know, in the family as well. And I knew that to create the lifestyle I wanted, it wasn't going to be through getting a degree and spending however many years to make $100,000 a year. So yeah, it's funny. I was watching some Instagram reel the other day, and it was like it was a kid. I think he was 19 or 20, and he had a window cleaning business here in Oz somewhere. You might have seen it. And I just think about it for me as well, because you would get hate for having to say you're a cleaner. You know what I mean? Like everyone would think you're a dropkick for saying you're a cleaner. But this guy's talking about how he's making $7,000 a week cleaning windows. And it's like someone else might spend 6 years getting a degree to have this fancy job title as an engineer or whatever, and they're making 100 grand as a junior engineer or whatever. I don't know, but you can literally be 3 months as a teenager cleaning windows, and now you're making 25K a month doing something which a lot of people would look down on. And the same as videography. A lot of people still go to me, like people from my high school that look at me, it's just, he's going to escape the matrix doing videography. Like he's going to escape the matrix being a videographer. And it's like, I don't know what their plans are, and I try not to buy into it, but it's like, making 20K a month, man, it's going to be a while with what I know you want to do to make that much money. It's all I'm going to say. So yeah, it's definitely the Tate era that convinced me that I had to do something for myself in order to make the money and live the lifestyle I wanted. And I'm still in the process, of course, of getting towards that.
Yeah, 100%. And like the thing is, why I don't really like bringing up Andrew Tate is because I don't really agree with a lot what he has said and still says today. Definitely from a Christian point of view. But I can't ignore the fact that he did pull me out of the hole when I was probably, I don't want to be the sad bloke, but lost in my life anyway. I didn't know what I was going to do. Didn't know what the fuck I was going to do, because I was a carpenter, for fuck's sake. Like, excuse my language, but like the physical labor and getting paid for how long you work, and not for your value. I was like, nah. And then Andrew Tate came along, said everything he was saying. A lot of it's very prideful, and a lot of it, how he was talking about women, is pretty disgusting. But at the same time, the main message he was trying to get across, did click for me, and I wouldn't be here where I am today if it wasn't for that. And someone I have been getting recently, and I mentioned before, Ty Lopez. I really do like his mindset. Something I was going to refer to you to start getting onto if you haven't. But his 67 steps, going through that at the moment, it's just knowledge that everyone should just know, but no one is willing to sacrifice the time to just sit there and listen and pay attention and note down what he is saying. And it's hard, bro. Like, because it's $67, man, for it. I think 67 US, $100 Australian, and this shit can literally. You don't have to become a millionaire. You become a successful father, or get into shape, get a good relationship. Like, it doesn't have to be attached to wealth. I feel like it's just what a lot of young people are lost today, and they just need some little guidance. And I feel like these people like Tate and Ty Lopez are cringed over because of this, you could call it like motivational like porn in a way. I think there's a new term I've heard going around, which is very true. I think that's fair play. But at the same time, like, what these boys are teaching can get you away from being miserable every day, working a job you hate, and potentially doing what we're doing now, which is, I'm not about you, but as many hours as it is and how demanding it is, sometimes on the mind anyway, not so much the body but the mind, the hours, I'm loving it.
Loving it, hey. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, I think that a lot. I'm driving home a lot from shoots, and I'm like, as tough as this is, I'm loving it at the same time, because I know I'm building towards something. So I think the thing on the Ty Lopes and the Andrew Tates is they get people into it. Like they're that first kind of spark of inspiration, and I think that's the most important switch. And as you were saying before, it's it can take you from wherever you are in your life and to make a complete 180, and from there you end up, you can discern whether all of his opinions are valid on different takes and different topics, but at least that initial inspiration to want to improve your life and improve the lifestyle you live in, create the life that you want is huge. So I definitely owe a lot to them just for their work in general, just trying to inspire people to take control of their life. So yeah, no doubt they've been huge. Yeah,
bro. And I guess like what is it like for you in terms of like friend groups and that? Do you find that you've kind of distanced yourself from a lot of people, or?
Yeah.
going down this new chapter in your life?
Yeah, I'd say when it comes to friend groups, there was probably, I guess I was lucky in year 10, the friends I had, because I was more of a, an academic guy anyway. I didn't have like a bunch of dropkick friends, fortunately. And I guess I had some friends at the time that were also kind of getting into the online business kind of thing, making money, the escape the matrix, whatever. So I had a couple friends that were already getting into that. And I had a few friends that had made a lot of money in crypto, etc. at the time. So fortunately, I did have for the most part, good people around me, but still we're all 15, 16. So it's not like these guys are, they're not super advanced at all. But when I'd left school, there was definitely a period where, I'm now cut off from everyone. So I definitely lost a lot of friends making that transition. And then once again, going from just being a high school dropout, but then going, all right, I'm starting my own business now. And I really have to elevate myself to get to the level I want to be at. And I need to stop, doing some of the bad habits, etc. There was definitely a shift where I think I only really have two or three friends from school that I'm still speaking to whatsoever, and that's obviously a lot different to when I was at school. And even then it's I still feel that there's definitely a lack of me, at least in real life, friends that I have at least the same age that are doing kind of the similar things. So it's definitely been, especially in that early stage where I first started the business, I could say I kind of went ghost or whatever for a bit and didn't really speak to anyone my age, at least for 4 or 5 months. And then I've kind of reintegrated some of those friends, I guess, back into my life. And I guess also seeing what I've done, they're all kind of inspired in the right direction, I think. So yeah, it's that's definitely a factor. I guess Hamosi talked about the lonely chapter, and it's definitely real.
I was literally about to say that, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely real.
It's fair, bro. But at the same time, like, you're probably so busy too that, you probably don't even have time anyway to catch up with those people. And you probably find that when you are maybe with people you enjoy being with, your mind's still back on the business and on the game.
Yeah, that's right. It's never. It's nonstop. You never really turn off in that initial building phase. So especially right now, man, it's busy. It's busy.
What are the other things you're doing to get away from the business? Like, are you still doing Muay Thai, gym?
Yeah. So just for context, last year, obviously, I had 3 Muay Thai fights, which was good. But very time consuming. So I stopped doing, I guess, the start of this year. So I started the business in February. I stopped doing Muay Thai whatsoever. I had my last fight in November. And then by February, I'd completely stopped doing Muay Thai. I had a little running phase. I ran a half marathon. I just did one race, which was all right. But then, unfortunately, for probably 5 months at the start of the year, I really slacked off with the training and with exercise in general, unfortunately, which was not something which was good, but it was just complete monastic focus, I felt like, on getting clients. So I've probably 3-4 months ago, I was like, all right, I got to get back into the gym. I got to get back into running. So then it's been, for me at the moment, it's gym 3-4 times a week, just training like full body split. And then I'm trying to run 2-3 times a week. And then it fluctuates up and down depending on work, but I'm trying to put, again, a big focus on it, because otherwise everything I'm doing is on the business. And yeah, it can get a bit too much if there's nothing else outside of it. So yeah, I'm trying to get back in gym consistently. But besides that, not a whole lot, to be honest. Not a whole lot besides that. It's funny. I heard.
You stay on top of your sleep, or how's that going?
Yeah. Nah, I've got a little mattress and a blanket. I'm in my office right now, and I've got a little mattress and blanket and pillow that I've had to pull out a couple of times, but that's because I'm not disciplined enough to manage my bookings. Sleep, I've tried to prioritize sleep, especially during the busy periods, because otherwise I'm not productive anyway. If I had no sleep, I'm like shooing around at my desk. So definitely need sleep. trying to eat well as well. Eating well is important as a property videographer because it's so easy to, you've just done 3 shoots in a day and you're driving home. It's if you're not dialed, it's easy to pull into the drive-through. So you have to be. You have to.
Oh,
yeah.
come on, bro.
Bro.
One drive-through, at least like Guzman or something.
No. I'm saying it's happened a couple times. It's happened a couple times.
Fair.
So I'm meal prepping now. We're kind of back on track with the with their health in general. Sleep is dialed. So I'm trying to redial all of that, and then besides that, there's not much else going on. But that's all right because I'm loving it.
How you find it? Because you're 18 next month. You don't feel like you're going to feel any temptation to go at it all, or you're just going to be able to stay focused?
For me, it's been weird. It's just it's never really been never been very social, hey. So it's never really been a part of my life. I shaved my head last year, and I feel like that. Like it was just a bit of a
Looks good, man.
Yeah, but it's a bit of an outcast. It was a bit of an outcast move. Do you know what I mean? So it was like I've just kept the bold look the entire time, and I keep shaving my head. And I'm like a 17-year-old, and I have 0 hair pretty much. So it's just I guess I've just not really fit in with everyone at my age. So I don't think there's even the pressure's not even there from anyone. It's just I'm just in the lab. I'm just working.
Bro, you look weird with hair. I reckon. Because I've only known you with hair.
Yeah. Nah.
Bro.
I just had fluffier kind of just fluffy hair. It was all right, to be honest.
Run it back.
I thought about it this week, but I couldn't do it. It's the awkward phase, bro. It's like, and I don't look good in hats either. So it's like, it's just, I regret it sometimes because it's hard being 17-year-old with no hair. It's like bold guys at my age don't do as well. So it's all right. It's all right.
Coming back to the business, how did you find when he first started out? And I'm going to keep coming back to you're only 17 and real estate agents, because I know you mentioned this, that they weren't taking you probably as serious because you were so young. And you find that starting to shift?
Yeah. Luckily with videography, the work kind of speaks for itself as well. It still doesn't mean you can sell the high level packages, but the work does kind of speak for itself. And at least in my local market, there was I think Claudio Riviera said it, Studio 910. There was one of the reels he made where it's like, don't let being young be perceived as a disadvantage in real estate video or whatever. It's like people like working with young people, especially young videographers, because they know social media, they know what's trending, they know how to make things look cool, what's aesthetic. So no, I had a few issues maybe early on where it was like, who is this kid? Where was he trained? You should go work for this guy. I've had agents tell me to go get a job for my competitors that I'm now smoking. But yeah, it's early days. There was definitely a few agents who were like, piss off kid. But now I built the brand. I've started to build the brand in the local market. And yeah, most people, to be honest, all the agents know my age, and I think they all actually find it more impressive. They see me as more impressive because of it, at least the good agents. Because all the good agents I found, most of them, the good agents to work with like to work with other successful people. And that's what Danny was saying to me. It was like, this vlog will go out and they'll see you're doing so well and everything. But bro, the good agents, they'll want to work with you because you're successful and you're young and you're driven. And they're the exact same. Like the good agents are driven, successful people. So they're going to want to work with you, and it won't hinder your success. So I've always seen it as a positive, the age. There was definitely a few times where it's like, who is this kid? Go get a job at some, where were you trained, like, etc. But in the past couple months, it's been no issue, and I think an advantage. So yeah, it's been okay.
When Denny did pull up in Perth, I remember when I seen that, I was like, yo, what's up? It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
What was that reaction you felt when he told you he was going to pull up?
Do you want to hear? Do you know what the story was? The brief story?
I think he maybe gave me a rough
might
one,
even your
but run it back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously Danny's mentor and everything. The test. So we were all submitting testimonial videos to get access to the live call. And I was a day late. I didn't realize. So I submitted a testimonial video and it was like 25 minutes because it's had such a big impact on my life. I sat here where I am and just recorded a testimonial video for a long time. And yeah, I basically told him my story. And he didn't really know my story. We'd had a few calls, but he knew my age and everything, but not really how far I'd come. And yeah, it's like it's maybe 6:30. I think I'm still sleeping, and he gives me a ring, and it's on a number I don't know, obviously. So I decline it or whatever. I just let it ring out. I'm like, who's this guy? And then it rings again, and I'm just like, mate, it's 6:30 in the morning. Like, we're not booking property video. I don't know who it is. And then I get another ring. I'm like, fuck's sake, I'll answer. And then it's just, I didn't really recognize the voice. It's like, hey, Griffin, I'm looking for the best property videographer in Perth to do a video for me. And I'm like, because I just fucking woke up. I'm like, okay, sorry, who's this? And then I kind of recognize his voice, like, Danny, no fucking way. So he's giving me a ring, and then he's like, mate, this is what I'm offering. I'm going to come to Perth. And thank you for the testimonial video. I'm offering this. I'm going to come to Perth. We're going to spool this thing up and get 30K in spring. And I'm like, holy shit, is this real? So yeah, it was nuts. I remember just going around telling my sister, telling my mum. I was just so hyped up. And it was sick. And then that was on the Thursday or whatever, and he was in on the Saturday. So yeah, it was a pretty cool weekend. And yeah, learned a lot from him while he was here. And definitely, it was just more inspiration really to just lock in. Really, it was just more inspiration to push harder. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
One thing I've definitely found is, you can watch every podcast in the world, but when you have a mentor in person and you're talking face to face, like the difference of, or how much you're able to consume and understand of maybe the exact same message, but in a face-to-face situation, like the difference there, if that makes sense. I think I lost myself there.
Does make sense.
But I think you are following on. Yeah, the difference it is from listening it compared to listening it in person.
Yeah,
like the impact, and I guess having Danny there in person just.
Yeah, it was nuts.
How's the game been since?
Yeah, it's been next level.
Confidence
has gone up a lot with the prices. Confidence with the price. So every new client that's come in now is above $1,000. And that's huge for me with clients still on, $650, $750. So that's been, I know you have higher prices than me, but that's been huge for just the confidence in my work, and just going like, these agents, like Danny just kept telling me, you're scared. Like, you're too scared. Just be more confident. Just up the fucking prices. Like, you're scared. And that's not the exact language he said, but I was getting the message. So yeah, we reworked a lot of the efficiencies in the business when it comes to how I'm taking bookings and things like that. And he's just basically told me, mate, the fact you're making money right now is crazy. Like, it was this hard for me to find your phone number. I couldn't find it. Why don't you ever Google my business? Why don't you, like, he was just all these little things which he was just telling me to make sure I had done. And they're more tactical things, I guess, but also just mindset. It's like in Adelaide, when I started, all these agents told me I couldn't charge $800 for property video, but now I'm charging $10,000, whatever. It's like, you have to be the guy that molds the price in your market. Because also just very real estate video specific, but the $200 the $200 price increase to you makes a huge difference to your life, like your entire life. But the $200 difference to a multimillionaire selling their home for a video makes genuinely zero difference at all. So it's just also understanding that you're in a game where the people who are actually paying you in Australian real estate video are these multimillionaire sellers who should be incentivized by the agent to get the best possible product. And you can only make the best possible product if you have the time to do so, which means you have to charge high prices. So it's a win-win for everyone. If you charge more, it's a win-win for everyone. And that's probably the biggest mindset shift, just the pricing, just being confident in the pricing, and just knowing that it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. And he kept telling me that it's like, it's not going to be easy. And he knew I already knew this, but it's not going to be easy, but you're going to be so successful in this market, and you'll be able to set yourself up, to expand into bigger things after this. And you just need to max it out and just keep going ham, because it's a make or break time. You've inserted yourself into this marketplace. You now have you know, you've started to build a brand up, but there's still people who haven't worked with you, and there's still time for you to make sure everyone in the market knows that you're number one, and solidify your name as getting a video done by Vision Traps is it's the most premium option in Perth, and it's the posting the back of the t-shirt on the Instagram story. It's all these different things which agents will start to do once you build the brand, and I've started to notice that. And Danny's been, it's been huge to have him in real life. Just go, you got to just do everything you can right now to get it to the next level, and that's what we're in the process of doing. So it's really pushing it to the next level at the moment.
Yeah, bro, that's just money, you know, hands down. And like, bro, even you, like in a year's time, like, who knows what you could be doing and what you could be charging, or who you could be working for. Wait, you might even relocate. Like, I know you want to move to the East Coast. That's potential on you.
Thought about it a lot. Yeah. You know what else I was thinking about? Two of my mates, you know, Harrison and Zach. Harrison's in America right now, and then Zach's in New York. And bro, Aussie videographers are gods over there because of us. Like, our skill set is just so much higher than theirs, and the temptation to move to America and just chop up a market like New York is the living expenses is crazy though. So I don't know if I'd do it, but just the skill set, we're treated like gods over there, that they've been saying. So I'd probably want to stay within Oz, but relocating is definitely something I've thought about.
Those temptations, that I've pretty much cracked you there when it comes to temptations. Like, you want more, and it's hard to, because I know I'm not innocent at all. It's like that. You tell yourself, I'll be happy when I make X amount a month, and then you get there and you just want more. And one of the biggest fears I keep coming through is like, oh, is the work going to keep coming through? Is it going to just die out one day? And that's why I keep telling myself I need to make more. It's just a stupid circle that I know that's just delusional, and I just need to get out of that headspace and just completely just focus on what matters.
Yep.
And that's just producing quality, you know, building not great, but relationships that go beyond just business, but personal life with whether it's an agent or a CEO or business manager, whoever that may be. It's just, bro, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. And I feel like both you and I have kind of done like a little similar journey. Yeah. And that's another thing, bro. For me, I definitely felt, because I live in small little Gladstone, there's not many people doing what you could say that we're doing, videography, let alone entrepreneurship, let alone videography. It's been good just to connect with someone like yourself. And I think that's one of the advantages we have today is, you know, the internet, social media. It's
100%. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying in the videos. Like, it's crazy how there's like, real estate video. It's such a crazy niche. I didn't know it existed before 9 months ago. Like, real estate video, and then there's a program, and we're all in it from all different corners of the world. And when are you ever going to be able to meet another real estate videographer, except for if you're in a group like that? So it's been good. It's been good to connect with everyone. And
bro, saying on that, I got like kind of not butthurt, but like I remember when Danny was like, "Yeah, I'm from Adelaide, a little small town, you know, 1 million people." I'm like, bro, I'm from a town of 40,000. Fuck, what are you talking about, blood?
Yeah,
that was cap.
I think he says that because no one knows Adelaide in America, so he tries to like, I don't know. Yeah.
Like, bro, stop capping up here. Like, come on.
You got to travel 3 hours to shoots. That's your challenge. You got to travel to shoots, eh?
If I was to reach out to other towns.
Yeah.
But I do have enough work in Gladstone.
Okay.
There's potential next year to maybe move out to other towns, but again, just trying to keep myself focused on the now.
Yep.
Instead of because it's something I did all the time. Not sometimes, like all the time. I was always thinking in 6 months ahead when I was driving somewhere instead of what I was literally driving to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge.
You know,
It's huge. Yeah.
it's hard, man. Because that I want to come back to that. Like all these influences. Like for me, I was just like consuming so much from so many different people. There was so many different, I guess, so much different perspectives on how to become successful. And, you know, you have all the people going about manifestation and visualize all this bullshit. And then that's why I love Alex Hormozy so much. And even like Ty Lopez. More so Alex Hormozy because she's just like, just do the work.
Yep.
Just do the reps. Stop thinking about so far ahead and just do what needs to be done now. And he's been one of the greatest mentors, if you could call him that still, even though he would have no idea who I am, obviously. But the perspective or the mindset he gives off is just priceless.
Yep. Agreed. Hormozy's great. So good. He's like,
I think it's because
you go.
He's just so brutal.
Yep.
Like he said, he's like, you don't have to live the life I'm living. He's like, I love business. It's all I want to do. But like, don't tell me you don't have no time when you spend, 20 hours a week on Netflix or 10 hours on your phone and doing this and that. Like all these little ways you telling yourself you don't have time, but that kind of little slap in the face for me was like, right, I'm bullshitting.
Yep. For sure.
But it's also very dangerous because I feel like you dial in sometimes too much. And then that's when family members going like, hey,
yeah,
you're going to actually spend time with the family.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm trying to become a millionaire.
It's hard to take a step back. It's funny you say that because I had I won't name, but one of my competitors in this marketplace, probably my biggest competitor, he's always in my DMs talking about how I need to like slow down. He's always telling me like, I was shooting on the weekend, and he was like, shooting on the weekend, mate. Remember to slow down or something. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he was like, you're doing your thing. It's great, but make sure you take some time to focus on the more important things in life. And he's fucking right. I think he's right. Like at the same time, I'm a competitor. He wants me to, maybe he does want me to slow down so I can stop pinching clients from him. But I think he makes a valid point that doing property videos for 16 hours a day in the pursuit of whatever it is, you can probably do 12 hours a day and take 4 hours off and you probably make more progress. So yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. I think at the end of the day, there's no perfect way to live your life or how many hours you should work or how many hours you should spend with your family or reading a book or doing whatever makes you happy. I think you just got to do what you want to do, really. And yeah, because I feel like something I did was always trying to I felt like I just need to know the answer now. Like, what is the purpose in life? How am I supposed to structure my day? And there is no perfect way. You just got to figure that out for yourself, create good habits, stay consistent. And I feel like as you evolve through time, you'll eventually just mold something that perfectly simulates for you. And maybe sometimes you need someone who's looking at it from the third point of view, like, hey, bro, like, what are you doing this for? Might need to pull yourself back, or, hey, you can do this like 4 times as efficient. You don't even need to do that.
Yeah.
But that's the game.
That's right. That's the game. Yeah. That's huge.
What are your aspirations like? I feel like for me, for a long time, I got caught in the materialism trap, but now all I want to do is travel and just experience cultures and religions and food and different climates. Like, what is it for you? What are you doing this for? What is your purpose, would you say? And when I say that, my purpose is entirely just like, I want to travel the world. Like, there's also family and all that personal stuff that, I have as my purpose. But what is your purpose for doing all this and putting all this effort in?
That's a good question. It's a good question. I think the one thing I keep coming back to is probably just, I think whenever whenever I don't feel like I'm truly aligned to my purpose, it's because I have been screwing up in one way or another. It's because I have been doing a couple bad habits recently. So the only real thing I can say at this point of my life is when I look back on my journal entries from 2 years ago and go, this is what I was thinking then. I could have imagine 2 years if I was locked in for 2. Imagine how much progress I would have made in the gym if I didn't take that time off, etc., etc. And I think at this point, I don't think I have any more purpose than just fulfilling my highest potential. I know it's not really a good answer, but at this point, it's all I can think about. So all I'm thinking about is leaving it all. Like Hormozy says, leaving it all on the field. And at the moment, that's all I'm thinking about. And I would like to experience more out of life than just working. And I think the other purpose is probably I just want to be able to provide the best life ever for my family when I have one. And I think that's ultimately what I'm doing it for. I'm definitely very aware of wanting to provide the most for them and just being an example of what a good, successful, hardworking man was. So that's probably the one meaningful purpose. I'd say is doing it all to set an inspiration for my family when I have one, and also just to live up to my potential. And in turn, I am setting a good example. I definitely have aspirations to travel and experience the world as well, but I haven't traveled before. I've went to Thailand once, and so that's something I think I want to do a bit more of in the future. But it's not really what I'm thinking about at the moment. I feel like I'm a bit head downy, kind of just let's just try and succeed as much as possible and make as much money as possible. So I don't really have a great answer for it. I think it's probably a little bit too material at the moment. It's not about necessarily making a positive impact on the world. It's just becoming as successful as possible and becoming as it's all I'm really thinking about at the moment, unfortunately. I know it's probably a bit of a shit answer, but all I'm thinking about is doing everything I can to provide the best I can for my future family. So yeah, I think that purpose will evolve over time as I grow up, maybe.
Bro, no, that's beautiful, bro. Like that at 17, man. Like I said, when I was 17, man, I was only just like discovering partying thing. It was like the coolest thing ever. Like I had to experience what I went through and it's made me who I am today. But to be able to be who you are at your age, like it's just an achievement. Like, bro, man.
I appreciate that.
You can't put it in words, man. I think, and I can imagine in your head, you're telling yourself you're probably not even enough. Or like people like us have that mindset. But it's just hard for me to put into words like, yeah, someone like yourself to be achieving what you're doing. Man.
Means
like
means a lot. Thank you. I guess the only caveat to that is, at least in my own head, is I haven't really experienced the other side of like, the teenage years or whatever. So I haven't experienced it, and I feel like in some sense I'm less experienced. Well, I'm not experienced in all aspects of life, and that's the one. It still kind of wears at me a little bit. Like I have a few mates who are a bit more, they've had their partying phases and everything, and they're in it right now. Really, about to go to schoolies, whatever it is, and I just haven't. I don't think I've ever been to a party before. So it's something where it's like, am I missing out on that? Kind of intentionally now that have I almost become too comfortable trying to grow my business and not enjoying the, I guess the social aspect of your teenage years. So I don't know. That's something I kind of think about occasionally, but at the same time, I know that this is what I want to be doing. I know that I want to be fulfilling my potential. So am I missing out on much or not? That again is a question for you who has, gone through it a little bit and then, come on the other side and is now fulfilling their potential. Am I missing out on those couple of years of experiencing more of the other aspect of life? Or is it something I can probably come back to? Which
you're asking me the question.
I'm asking you the question, yeah. Yeah, because I actually
to be honest, bro, honestly, bro, if you were to go to a party 2-night, like a standard Australian pro party where everyone just drinks piss till midnight or 3 a.m, you wouldn't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be there. You'd probably leave at 10.
Yeah.
You'd probably have 2 drinks. You'd be like, why am I drinking? You're probably thinking about the next shoot.
Yeah.
Probably thinking the next thing to do. Like, period, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was like a entrepreneur party for networking purposes and there was alcohol there, a bit more enjoyable.
Yep.
Because you're actually growing from it and you're making those connections, because networking is everything, man.
Yep.
People, at the end of the day, people are everything. Like, I'd rather be a man with a network of people that all love my company, who want to talk to me for hours on end, than be someone who has no network, no relationships, and, you know, couple million in the bank. You could, have a couple million in the bank and not have the skills to be able to network. I'd rather be the guy who has all the networking, because what you can learn from those people, and at the end of the day, people are everything. I think someone I had previously on a podcast, he said it himself. He's like, if you know everyone, you know everything.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
For me, bro, like I said, I'm glad I experienced it. Like, it probably only lasted, I would say, maybe 18 months hardcore, and then slowly like dripped out of it. You'd have a few hard sends.
Yep.
Like, you start doing like the 3-month grind, go to like a festival and send it, and then be miserable for a week, recovery, and then do the grind again for like 4 months. And then eventually got to probably the last event I went to. I was done.
Yep.
I was at that event. Like I was saying to you before, if you were to go to a party tonight, you'd be like, what am I doing here? That was me at that event.
Yeah.
Just like, what am I doing? Like, I started thinking a lot about my future, and being someone who used to be a massive procrastinator, still partially am. I'm eliminating it. Someone who used to procrastinate a lot, and I was just stuck in this loop. Just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And that was only a year ago. So what you can achieve in 12 months, it's sky's the limit. But nah, bro, like, you're 17, man. You might even not even go to a party until like maybe even 22, 25. That's completely fine, bro. You're not missing out on shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, parties are it's just even full of negativity, or it's just immature behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not growing from it.
Yeah. Some of my mates are like, what would you even talk to some guy at a party about? Like, you'd be there and it's like, don't even lower yourself to that shit. And it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me to comment on it because I haven't experienced it, but the mates that do, they would tell me now, and they do tell me, like, it's not all that. It's not all that. And that's what you're saying as well. So I have to trust that. I have to trust that.
Bro, like, a lot of the time, man, like, when you go to parties, like, the people you're talking to, you're only talking to them because you have like liquor confidence.
Yep.
Like, if you were sober, you wouldn't strike a conversation with them. You probably wouldn't care. It's just all, I think we're just Australians, man.
Yep.
Australians just love their alcohol, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Very fortunate, never gone to gambling. It's never interested me. I feel like that is seriously bad for people to get into gambling. It's a bad trap. I have mates today that are still stuck in that rut, man. And you're just like, why, bro? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, it like, you watch them watching the dogs or the horses. This is recently, I caught up with some of the boys and they were watching the horses, and I'm like, hey, he's doing this. Like, how? Like, I was like struggling to even feel the need to pay attention. It's just, at the end of the day, it's just mindset, bro. And the life experiences you've had are brewed to this moment. Everything happens. If you don't believe in God, like, at least believe in the universe. Again, we've spoken about this, but just believe in the universe, that everything happens for a reason. And, you know, Newton's laws, all those things, just keep that in mind and just understand that,
Yep.
you know, shit doesn't happen by accident.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
guess we'll wrap it there, bro. Appreciate your time.
No worries.
Like I said, bro, like, yeah, it's, yeah, for you to be doing, like for me at 22, like some people tell me like, oh, what you doing's great. But like you at 17, fucking, it's crazy, man.
Thank you.
So
yeah,
mad respect to you.
appreciate that.
Don't ever stop being you. Because you're a good man. You're a good brother, bro.
Yeah.
Good person. So
Likewise,
keep
bro.
being you.
Learned a lot from you and appreciate it. Appreciate the conversation as well.
100. Righto.
All right.
Keep hustling, brother.
And, Likewise.
I'll keep to see the day. It's gonna be soon for you, bro. When you're gonna feel successful, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I feel like you'll figure that out for yourself.
Hope so. We'll catch up when I come to the East Coast. When I move to Gold Coast property videos.
Fair. I might have to come to Perth first.
Yeah, no, you come to Perth. Bro, there's nothing in Perth. Daniel was like, I'm moving to Perth. And I was like,
oh, true.
It's like, it's not good, man. It might be better when
I think it's just that thing when you grow up in the town,
yeah.
Like because you've been in Perth your whole life. So I feel like for you it's just like, bro, it's just land and beach. but
why don't I go to Sydney? Why don't I go to Sydney?
Bro, Sydney's mad crazy. I froth Sydney, but the traffic is pretty mental.
True. Yeah. No, that's fair. I got to at least see it first. I got to go there once.
Yeah, bro. I'll send you some pics. I'll be going there soon.
Yeah, killer.
No, I appreciate it, brother.
No worries. Thank you.